Okay, ladies, my name is Philippe. I'm from Taji Bag, lead contributor. We're based in New York. We cover pretty much everything Black. So thank you for taking the time out for joining us. I see you, Erica. So I wanted to start with Savannah. This movie was based off your short film, The Heart Still Hums, and it explores the intersection of art and motherhood. How were you able to focus on that in this film?
How was that? Sorry, repeat that last part. How was I able to?
How were you able to focus on those two items
Oh,
within the
you're
film?
muted, I think.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What were the two items? Motherhood and
And art.
okay. Um, well, I guess from an art perspective, I was thinking about how to tell this story in a way that I think people would receive it and not be manipulated into uh, the narrative. I was thinking about how can we tell the story with a visual language that's observing real life as much as possible and not intruding on that life circumstance, but also telling it with grace and making people heroes of their own stories, no matter what they are going through or doing in their lives. And so we created a visual language which did that and allowed our actors to kind of only have to do the performance once rather than repeating it many times, and just kind of having one frame or one camera angle, and just doing the whole scene from start to finish rather than chopping it up. So that's kind of from an art perspective how I tried to bring art into it. And motherhood, it was part of the story from day one, and I was thinking a lot about my sister's birth mother and how much she impacted me and inspired me in such a short span of time. And I was thinking about mothers in general and what they give their children, and what their children don't want to take with them, the trauma they're trying to break away from. So from the heart of the story, motherhood was there, and then it just kind of expanded with every person that got involved and how they brought themselves into the story.
Okay. Next question goes to Tia and Erica. Erica, you're a seasoned vet, so I know you've done your research on this role. Tia, you had a close connection because you were a new mother at the time, and you had some background and trained to be a doula. So what was your approach to these characters that you guys played in the film, and just give a little detail about the relationship.
Between the two of us, like our
Yeah,
interaction.
yeah, interaction
You know what I
between
mean?
Tia and Miss Carmen. Yeah,
Um, I think that we like in real life, Gia and Miss Carmen are
your character, your
yeah,
character.
right. I think in real life, Tia and Miss Erica are very reflective of one of each other for a lot of ancient and new reasons. And I think that like Gia and Miss Carmen, they are constantly trying to kind of learn from each other and are disappointed in each other in a lot of ways, and kind of like take it there on one another in personal ways, as Gia and Miss Carmen. But it's all reflective, and it's just an awesome energy exchange, I think, for me. But there are a lot of similarities on camera and off camera between both of us. And yeah, it's just synergetic and growing all the time. So keeps you wondering where that relationship's going to go. I feel like personally, yeah.
And he asked about your research too, Tia, what you
Yeah, definitely. Like most of my research came from literature that Savannah was lending me, and as she was learning as well, or just asking difficult questions to my friends as well. Like I had a friend who had 2 kids when we were 16. And I had called her and just said, I never apologized for kind of just disconnecting with you at that time because I didn't know how to show up for you, you know? So in a lot of ways, it was like a lot of self-preservation and healing that came about in the research as well. Like Savannah will call it like emotional research, I think. Really had to get in the rubble with it. So
Yeah, I think that my relationship with Tia is organic, but I also knew because of my past and sort of knowing my way around the set that my job was to stay out of her way, that I wasn't there to tell her what to do. And just by very presence, that if she wanted or had questions, she might see it in me, within me. And I also knew that she was mature enough to ask if she didn't, if she wanted assistance. Also, she's the most mature person on set as far as I was concerned, because she's extremely just bright, and she just genius level smart, but also that she was a mother and that she was having a different experience than me, and that I could play one, but I had not been one. And so I also needed to take lessons from her. And also she would give me my cues. The other thing was that the assignment from Savanah was for us to feel. And she got that in spades, because when you're asking for that, we open up Pandora's box. Everybody's going around a very sensitive space. Certainly Tia was, as a new mother. She wasn't with her daughter. And that's difficult already, but you're already in a space where you don't get to control anything, and you're around people who want to control everything. So I just wanted to have fun, and I kept trying to tell myself that I was given the opportunity to watch people be born in a space that they in a context that they didn't necessarily haven't framed in their mind, and yet they were all seasoned, as far as I'm concerned, in the lead positions, has been successful in a showbiz way. So that's for Tia and Doechii, and then some of the new actors that Savanah found were leaders in their category. They were leaders, and so I thought, I'm probably doing the most performance work here, and they're authentically creating that. But the truth is, my mother was an orphan. Both my father was too. My mother was a social worker, and my sister is a social worker and was for many years in adoption. And so I knew and she was adopted out, my mother, and my father was an orphan, and sort of just ragtag on the street, whoever would raise him, and he'd go back and forth. So I had that sort of as research. And frankly, I think those things are inherited in your bones and your DNA, and then you just allow yourself to explore and live in them, because Miss Carmen must keep herself in a different space. She's not supposed to be their friend, and yet she's supposed to help them figure out what the most important question in their life. And you can't do that unless you love them. And so she loves them on a level, but she's, I'm sure, also frustrated with them, because she wants them to do the right thing so they can get on with their lives and have deserve their anonymity, and they get their will, not have to ask for permission to live their lives, but they can't in this system. So that's the heartbreaking thing. She's trying to make them navigate a system that she knows is set against them, and yet this is the way. So that's difficult, but there you go.
Thank you. So how were you guys able to have fun on the set? This movie is very heavy, emotionally heavy. Like, what was some of the things you guys did?
Gia's quite like athletic. Tia is not. But there were times where, Savanah and I would just like go to the park and shoot hoops. You know what I mean? There were times where just Doechii and I would just cat off and just dance together, and just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I gotta feel this, or, just going for a walk with one another. Like, Miss Erica is just hella funny all the time. So she's always providing a space of comic relief. So when I'm feeling intense, I kind of get a little bit closer to her. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like after going through something really difficult, like we were embraced, like even the intense scenes with Doechii and I remember like the first time getting physical with one another, and I was just like, come back here, I'm so sorry I pushed you that hard, you know what I mean? Like, we love each other, so it was a fun loving experience as well, and knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and one another after doing something intense was fun in itself, I think.
Wait. So who won between you and Savanah? Who won the games? Oh, who won the basketball games? Can you hear me?
Oh, we weren't like hooping like that. Like we were just shooting around. I'm terrible. They absolutely could not. There was not a one-on-one. We were
It
shooting.
was unfair. It's stacked against her. She's up against an Olympian. And I know that she's up
Right.
against an Olympian. Nobody's winning but Savannah.
I don't know. Hey, T could have a mean crossover on her. The jump shot.
No, hey, come on. That's why she said, let's go play hoops. So she could go dominate, be on the court and do other stuff, But you have to understand, we laughed our asses off. I mean, at least I certainly did. And we also, I was fascinated with all the really amazing young, we were out there in the, together and often in the holding spaces, just having a good time. They were so thankful and grateful to have the opportunity to be there. And so it was just a place of loving. But I have to say that if you go in hair and makeup, there was a lot of fun in there. Our crew was wonderful. I mean, truly, it was a really wonderful space, a heavy subject, but the space was light. And that's intentionally formed from who Savanah chose to be in that space.
Facts.
Savanah, what did you do? Did you, besides beat everybody in basketball? What else?
I gotta say, it was really heavy. It was heavy. It was like, I don't think I was like, it was heavy because also I didn't realize until making it how much of like receiving people's pain or suffering I was doing. And so a lot of times I didn't really want to like joke around, to be honest, because sometimes I just needed space to like sleep or eat some good food and that was like the lighter moments for me because it was kind of like this recovery period. I needed to like, those scenes like where I'm literally sitting next to the camera receiving women's stories and feeling them weep and be upset and also even with Tia, like she's going through a lot emotionally and like afterwards I would need to take time for myself too. So I guess like I know that's not probably what you wanted to hear. I wasn't really joking around as much as maybe other people were, but I was kind of my lighter moments for me taking time for myself through it all as well. Yeah.
Okay. So the film tackled themes of healing, growth, and community. How do you hope that Earth Mama can contribute to larger conversations about these topics and inspire change?
Is that one for me or for?
That's for all three of you guys.
For me, I really hope that this can spark a lot of conversations between people. I think it's been really interesting hearing people after screenings and seeing unexpected story or hearing unexpected stories from like unlikely places and realizing that so many people are connected by this story. And so I hope that it sparks some conversations between friends, family members, so it's not as uncomfortable to talk about. And I think that ultimately leads to more empathy and pulling away the judgment as well. So yeah.
Go ahead, T. Well, let me just say, what's done in the dark shall come to light. And Savanah gave us light into a space that very few people are looking. And I think, again, if you can illuminate space, that means that now we're responsible for that information. And that's a huge, big deal because I had no idea, even though I knew these systems existed, I didn't know it existed like this. And it breaks my heart because people have their attitudes and point of view about many things, but we don't know what we're talking about. And so when you see someone in it, which one of my favorite scenes is Tia when she's just taking a portrait of a family. That's such a beautiful scene. I love it. I knew I would love it on the page, but I actually saw it, Savanah, I did. And to me, she's isolated. They're having a an experience that she's denied, and she can take a picture of it, but she can't get it. You know how cruel that is? It's deep. And every day we're asking people to have these dreams of what it is to have family, all these shows on TV about family and loyalty and all that stuff. And there's so many people who are far away from it. And it feels so cruel to show them that that's also part of the American dream is the propaganda that we feed each other about how our lives should be. And then you look under the hood and then you have a point of view about it and you say, oh, that person's lazy, that's just that. And that's not true. They had a certain set of circumstances that most people will never have. And yet look at them rise. Look at them, overcome. Look at them exist, because sometimes that's all you can do is, so this powerful. And that's why Earth's Mama, wow, woo, from the rooted to, that's why that name is powerful too. Well, that was the end of that for me.
Wow. Ate it up, no crumbs.
Mm.
I really can just hope for, I am a Black woman, I'm a Black mother, I come from a Black family. I really would just love for everyone to just consider us in ways that we've never been considered before. We are so precious and sacred people. And I think that we should be cared after in a way I've never seen before. I think maybe I'd have to leave the country to see it, maybe on the route. And that's all we know is, loving and caring and community and organizing and resource and lending and giving naturally. I think that's what we do for one another in any space of community. We help to coagulate. So I really want us to learn how to navigate and take up all the space that we need so that we can get what we deserve. And I want to see all of us walking and stepping a little bit more serious into these like roles of responsibility and allyship and all of this that has to do with the Gias in the world and, seeing them more and not looking away. You see someone on the street, we look away. And sometimes it's just like looking at somebody and saying, I don't really have anything for you, but I definitely see you. And I could just wish you the best right now. That carries people eons. But simply looking away, I think I'm over that. And I think that this movie forces us to look deeper. Like even Gia, she's quite avoidant of the camera. She's quite avoidant of what she's showing, or you know what I mean. So yeah, I want everybody to feel that intensity and walk besides us more. Yeah, I want more people walking besides us.
Okay. Well, you guys, this is a beautiful film. I hope it's shown neighborhoods, communities, college campuses. Really appreciate it. Savanah, keep up the good work. Want to see some more. Erica, my editor says hi. Her name is Nay. She's in New York, so she saw you at the farmers market. Tia, keep up good work.
That's where I hang out, apparently, the farmer. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Give her love. Thank you, love. Thank you.
You do me a favor, wave.
Thank you for what you do in media and holding not only space, but telling these narratives from your point of view as Black man, and also from the position you're in. That's one of the most powerful places you could be.
Oh, well, thank you. Like I said, really appreciate it, guys. And I will tag you all in this interview, and good luck, because this is a wonderful must-see film, really.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Had me eye sweating, as I like to say. Thank you, guys.